To my left is an iPhone 4S, which I bought off Craigslist for $60. And to my right is a working iPhone 4. So my goal will be to fix this broken iPhone 4S. As you can see, the front is cracked. The back is really cracked. It's pretty chipped on the metal frame, but I'm not going to replace that. What else needs to be done to this phone? If you slide the back cover off, the battery needs to be replaced because it only lasts a few minutes. The speaker itself down here needs to be replaced, but I don't have that part. I'll replace it later. And so that's the majority of it that I'll be replacing. The battery, the screen, and the back cover, and it'll eventually look like this. And I just wanted to document how much it really costs to do something like this. Today I'll be unboxing a replacement glass battery cover for iPhone 4S over here. This came from a broken iPhone 4S I bought off Craigslist for $65. And just wanted to show that I was able to purchase this for the low price of $3.54 from DA's Zone store on Amazon. So I'm just ordering this back cover. Came in this little package over here. It was shipped in about a week or two. Here's the back cover. It's empty. They gave you the pentalobe screwdriver, which is nice. Come in handy if you want to unscrew other things. They even included 2 screws, which I thought was nice. And so let's open this. So this one doesn't have the Apple, or maybe it does. It looks like it doesn't have the Apple logo, but if you pull down the cover over here, it looks almost exactly like the one I'll be replacing. You can see, compare the two. It's very difficult to see the difference. And then you turn it over. One last thing about this, if you're replacing the back cover, you may need to remove a little plastic piece on here, or plastic film, if the camera's not working well, or on the back also. But this one doesn't seem to have a film on the where the camera would be, so I think I'm okay with this. So as you can see, it's almost perfect condition. It only cost $3.54, and I would just slide it on here. This is a bad battery, so let me take this battery off first. Bad battery that's bulging won't really allow it to go in. So you put it on a little above where it should be, and you slide it in. And it seems to fit perfectly. So that's good. Easy replacement. So I'm pretty satisfied with this so far. I'd have to additionally test the camera with this, but I'm assuming it would work pretty well. Just remember to take off the film if there's one, plastic film if there's something on there. Today I'll be unboxing a battery that I bought off of Amazon. It's for an iPhone 4S. It only cost $4.30 on Amazon, and the seller was DIY Mobility with over 1,000 plus feedbacks. So the problem with this battery is it only lasts a few minutes, and it's actually bulging already, which makes it hard to put the cover on. So removing it, I'm just going to use it to compare when I unbox the one that I received. It came in this package with a note, and then the battery in an anti-static bag. It's actually not really it's not really an official unboxing because I've already tested this battery and opened it. But you can see when you compare the condition, this one's really beat up. It looks a little thicker because it's worn out. And so now it will fit perfectly into this battery. Into this phone. Snaps on. If I press power, turns on. So if you buy a battery online and it doesn't turn on or it doesn't charge well, you probably have to get it replaced. It should work out of the box. You shouldn't have to do anything special. This one turned on, it was at 50%. I charged it. I've been using it for a week already. Charging it and uncharging it. The battery lasts around 2-3 hours of regular usage, like internet surfing and stuff, watching videos. There you go. %. You should see when you plug it in, it should charge. And so again, bought this from DIY Mobility, and I was able to get it for $4.30. So it's a pretty darn good deal. Apple charges you $75 to replace your battery. The only thing you should be especially careful is when you're taking this piece off. You could do it gently and it still might break off. I think it's sort of like a defect of the phone. I've had this break off on me before, and so I just pull it off gently and then take it off like that. But you could do that gently too, and it might rip off this black battery connector, so just be careful. So this battery only cost me $4.30 and it works just fine. Shipped from Florida, it took just a few days to ship, and so I'm pretty satisfied. Looks just like the original battery, if not in better condition. Today I'll be unboxing an iPhone 4S LCD Digitizer that I got off of Amazon for $18.32. I bought it from A Smart Center. They had some pretty good reviews. It only cost $18.32 shipped. And so it was shipped all the way from China. Came in this yellow box. It comes with the tools. Usually the screwdriver is very difficult to use, so you might want to invest on a small screwdriver. I've used these tool sets before, and usually the screwdriver is the weakest link in this tool set. What you really need is the pentalobe screw. I think it's this one over here, because that's to take off the battery cover. But anyways, they give you some tools, which is good. The thing I was impressed by is the LCD. It now comes in this plastic cover with styrofoam, or I think it's styrofoam, inside. And so it's easy to unpack. It used to come in a white box. The ones I'd order would come in a white box covered in styrofoam, but this is nicer. So you open it, reveals the LCD screen that will replace this broken LCD screen. Looks in pretty darn good condition. Don't see any issues with it, and it has a little plastic film over here that I can take off once I'm done. It doesn't have the home button, so you have to reuse the home button. I just noticed it doesn't have the grill on top, so mine doesn't have a grill. But that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm gonna replace this. If you wanted to get the little piece over here, it usually just costs $1 on eBay. So I'm gonna try to replace all of this. So I just wanted to show how cheap it is to repair a phone. The only piece I'm missing now is the bottom speaker over here, but that's not a big deal because I don't use the speaker. Oh, also I'm missing the grill on the LCD. That would be $1. But replacing the main components on this broken iPhone 4S, the screen, which is over here, the battery, which would be put over here, and the back cover would all cost around, based on what I bought on Amazon, it would be $18.50 plus $4.50 plus $3.50. I think $3.50. So that's around 22 plus almost 5. Yeah, so about $27, I think, if I do the math again. So it'll be around under $27 to fix this iPhone 4S. But I also bought the speakers, which is another $1, so it'll be around $28. 28, 29 maybe if I decide to replace that grill. So it's pretty cheap to fix your phone if you do it yourself. It'll probably take over an hour to do it, so I'm going to give it a try right now. My before video of my iPhone 4S before I fix it. Looks pretty beat up. I'll be replacing the battery, the back battery cover, and the LCD. I should replace the speakers, but I haven't received them. The total cost of fixing this will be just under $30, around $27 to $29. Could be cheaper if I was a phone repair shop buying wholesale, but most of these parts are bought off of Amazon, and the speaker was bought off eBay, so that's taken a while. So these were the tools included with the LCD replacement kit. It only cost me $18.50. I don't really need to use the pentalobe screwdriver to take off the battery cover because I've already done that. These little 2 screws on the bottom. So I'll just go ahead with taking apart the phone. First step is probably taking this cover off over here. You should probably invest in a better screwdriver than the one they give you. I'm using the one that they gave me right now. I would always suggest taking pictures of before and after. So continue taking these screws off. Again, remember to invest in a good screwdriver, otherwise it's going to be a pain to remove. All of this. I haven't done this in a while, so I might end up missing some things. Maybe. Sorry if there's not enough lighting. I'd mentioned earlier that you might want to invest in a better screwdriver set. I tried removing this screw with this and I almost stripped it. Luckily I have a bunch of other screwdrivers that I could use, and I was able to finally remove it. Probably won't use this thing again. Put it aside so I know it's kind of messed up. So I can lift this now. Gonna lift it off. Pull it out. And then sorry about the really bad lighting. And I can lift this thing off. And I think that's... I didn't really need it. I didn't need to do that, but using a flat head, I can remove this screw over here. Sorry, it's really bad lighting over here. Let's remove that screw. That screw. Now I think I can go ahead with removing the board. I need to take out the camera and this whole section over here. Remove all these things. So the camera lifts off from up here, and that should reveal another screw. Another screw somewhere over here. I forgot. If you're doing this for the first time, I would suggest taking pictures as you're taking things off. That'll make your job a lot easier. Otherwise, you'll be like me trying to figure out what screws go to what. I'm not a professional, I'm just a regular person like you. If you're deciding to take this apart for the first or second time, pull it off finally. Okay, this is the fun part. So where to start? I can take off the screws over here. I can kind of line my screws down as I take them off. Remove the antenna over here. Remove this. That's where one of these blue dealies help out, because I can lift off the connector. I haven't done this. So I left it from the inside. Yeah, so I need to unscrew these two screws over here, this thing and this thing. I'll start with this one. And then I need a flat screwdriver to remove this. I could use a regular screwdriver, but I think it's easier with a flat head. These two screws are for the speakers. We'll have to move the speakers too. Speakers are actually, in my opinion, a pain to put back together. That's one of the screws, and the other screw is this one over here. So now I can remove the speakers if I want to. It's that easy, removing the speakers. Move this over. Other thing I'll need to remove is the board still. So the board, I finished this middle to bottom part. I need to finish this top part. So that involves me removing some of the connectors. This one's your LCD and digitizer up here. They're usually one piece, so this one's LCD and digitizer. I keep on forgetting how to remove the rest of the stuff. I'll remove this screw now. And I'm going to end up stripping it if I don't be careful. Okay. So now I can go ahead and remove these three connectors. Otherwise, I can't remove the board without removing all the connectors over here. Okay, so now I got rid of all those connectors. So I mentioned there's one more screw over here. I have to remove this little black sticker to reveal it. And there's like a ground connector attached to it. So let me go about removing that screw. And I mentioned there's a ground there. I'm not sure what it is. So remove that. And now I think I'm ready to pull out the motherboard. Be gentle, you might forget a screw. I might forget a screw. Oh, last thing that you can't forget is to remove the SIM card slot. I was wondering what was making it difficult to remove. You gotta remove the SIM card slot. So let me go do that. So again, you need to remove your SIM card. Just use a simple paper clip. Then push it in and I'll eject the SIM card slot. I always forget to remove the SIM card. I'll break a phone that way. So now you have easy access to the motherboard and it should slide out. And you can put that motherboard aside in a nice anti-static area, but I'm pretty lazy. Okay, the last part is to remove all the screws. This takes a while. I probably won't record that part. You have to remove all the screws. There's 1, 2, another one over here. Gotta lift this. Have to remove this, the ringer. It's just glued on, so you just go from underneath and you pull it out. So that was 1 over here, 2, 3, and those corners 4 and 5. And then you do the same thing. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and then 5 over here. So that takes a while. It's kind of a pain to remove, and you actually need a pretty decent screwdriver. I've used this one. I might strip it. Pretty sure I'll strip it, so I'll use a decent one to remove these side ones. Don't use the one that they included, otherwise you might strip the the screws. And like I said, this is going to take like 5-10 minutes, so I don't feel like recording that. As I mentioned before, when you're removing these side screws, try getting a good screwdriver. What I like to do is, sometimes it's hard to take off the screw, so I think I have one more screw. Let's see where it's at. It's down over here. Sometimes I'll just get something that has better grip. I might use like a glove, but other times I might just use pliers or needle nose pliers to give me better torque. And I'll loosen them like this, so you can just adds more torque by having a handle like this, and then you can remove the screw. So this is the last screw. I moved the 4 corner screws. And then the 3 side screws on each side. Sorry, I can't see. Last screw I'm removing over here. It's off already. So once you take off all the screws, that's where the suction cup comes into play. I actually don't use the suction cup that much. I just take the digitizer LCD cable and I kind of push that out. It should bring out the LCD, or I'll try to wedge the tool in between the LCD over here and the metal frame. So if you wedge it enough, you can slowly start sliding out the LCD. This one's in pretty good. You can see I finally lodged it into one of the sides. It's just a matter of me pulling it out. It's kind of sticky. I think the original user got water onto it, but that's okay. Just picking up some glass that came off. So once you're able to pry open all the sides, the thing is you want to slide the LCD and digitizer cable through that little hole there. And you're going to have to slide those cables back in later. Like that. So this is the old LCD. It's all broken. And then, now let me go see if I can get my new LCD. Here's the new LCD, which I got for $18.50. Fortunately, I can't transfer the metal mesh over here at the top. I have to live without the mesh because it was totally removed on this original front LCD. Only thing I have to do when I get this LCD is to remove the red plastic, and then if I want I can remove this top cover, top film, but I'm going to leave it on. I know it's probably going to make my job a lot harder. So when you put it into the phone, the frame of the phone, be careful. You don't want to bend this thing. They have lines where it should bend, so oftentimes when you're putting it through, it might get caught. And so do not prematurely bend them. There's some people who say it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit because it was bent. So now I'm going to slide that through as best as I can, making sure that it goes through, and they're about the same height over here. And just make sure it's not crimped and didn't go through all the way. And so I can already show you the very first thing I forgot to do. I forgot to remove the old home button. So it happens to the best of us. And now I'm going to have to re-slide back the so I just removed it from over here. Just pull it off. And you put it back into the new LCD. So let me go do that. Okay, so I forgot to put the home button back in. Try your best to make it as straight as possible. I know it's going to be pretty hard. Check again. That's pretty straight. I'm not a perfectionist. I just want to make sure it has a home button. Wish I could replace the mesh. I don't have one. I think I can live with that. Okie dokie. So now putting it back in again because I should have done it correct the first time. Turn this around. Slide this in. So remember, it's very easy for you to get it caught and for it to fold and get crimped. So I think I did this right. If you did it right, you should see the metal square over here, and this should be the same length on top over here. So it looks like I have success. Not sure why it's not fitting in. pause this for a second. Figure out why it wasn't going on. There were still some broken shards of LCD over here, so I need to clean it off better. So just remember to pay attention. I think there's a piece over here. Should be pretty smooth. If it's not, yeah, pull off whatever you can until it's flat. Let's go do that, and then it should fit. So success. Now the LCD is on. I just have to screw back all the screws, and this thing is on well. As you can see, there's a little rectangle over here, and it comes down because I'll need it to come down. Actually, it's going to bend from the top over here. But anyways, it looks like I'm good to go. I'm going to put this thing back together. Probably take me another 30 minutes to put back together. One screw at a time. So I'll just start off with a little bit of me doing it. I need a magnetized screwdriver, really helps. So I get the corner. That's one corner. And I get the next. Just gonna do the corners right now. I think it'd be easier to do the corners first. It's just very tedious work. I really think anyone can do this. It just takes some time. If you have the right tools, it won't take so long. I hate doing these corner ones. Because even with a magnetized screw, it doesn't come on so easily. See, it came off again. I'm running out of battery, so I'm going to have to just record how long it takes. So putting back those 8 screws were a real pain in the butt. It must have taken me 30 minutes to an hour to do. Especially the corner ones. I had to pull out the tabs towards me, and then I could put the screw into the corner ones, but they were a pain in the butt. So I guess I can work on putting back the speaker and the bell. I don't know where the bell is, and the bell's the ringer. I'll start by putting the ringer back. That's it. Then I can put back the speakers. Speaker is kind of difficult to do because you have to put back this little triangle piece, and then put on the screw. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. So I'm going to try to put the plastic piece first. Maybe I'll take off this magnet. This ringer. Try putting this back in first. I don't know why they have this broken triangle thingy in the first place. I would think you would just want to keep it all as one piece. But who knows? As you can see, skin pain. Maybe I can do it where I put the screw in first. Then I put this thing on top. Oh no, success, okay. Then I'll screw it on. So that's one side. Put these speakers back on. And the ringer back on. And then I'll do the other side. Screw this on. So now I got the speakers on. I can work with the motherboard now. Gotta slide it in gently. Pull these pieces off. That works, but I still need to get this piece down. So it looks like I got everything on. This, I can start screwing away. I think this goes on the bottom left over here. And I get this screw over here. Again, this isn't a tutorial, this is just to see how long it takes me to do this. And I've done this before. So for someone doing this for the very first time, it might be even worse. I can go ahead and put this back on. Snapped the dock connector down here. Let's screw this on. Actually, I don't think it's there. This one's supposed to go over. This is a real pain in the butt with the wrong. Okay, I'll do that another time. Having more trouble with these magnetized screwdrivers than I am with non-magnetized. I got one side, now I gotta get the other side. Okay. Hey, what's left? I can put the camera back on, that's for sure. But before I do that, I need to put back the screw on top. So it goes something like this. Screw there. I don't have a screw at all. can put back the camera. I can put these ones back too. This one. And now the moment of truth, the LCD. Looks like it fits. And I forgot which one's which, but these two are the LCD and Digitizer. So that's in, and I can screw in. Popped in this one over here. Screw this top on. I need a flat head for this. Okie dokie. That's most of it. I could put this back on and screw on those little screws. Which I might try to do. And then I screw. Well, I could do this one too. This one's tricky. This one, and I have to put these last 4 screws on. This one. This one's should go on top over here. And there's 2 small ones. Over here. I'm pretty much done now. It'll be interesting to see if the LCD works. That's the most important component. Usually I end up with dead pixels. Oh, that's not the case today. Okay. I forgot to reattach the antenna over here. Sometimes hard to get it in, but that's it. Moment of truth, I need to put back the SIM tray. Put back the battery. Back the battery. I think this is the new one. Hopefully it didn't do anything. Oops. Just trying to make sure this little connection on the bottom was on. Okay. Got that in. I need to screw the batteries in. So I just need to screw the battery in now. Which I'm going to try to do. Not too tight. I'm just going to make sure it's screwed on. So I think this took me at least 2-3 hours. I thought it was only going to take me an hour. So I'm going to put in the new back cover. Try to align it like this. And slide it on. Okay, we're done with that. And now I need to use the pentalobe screwdriver to screw the last 2 screws on the bottom, the special star screws. So here's the bottom. I had some trouble putting this on. It looks like it's going. Oh! Well, I accidentally turned on the phone. It looks like the screen, at least visually, is working. It's booting up. I'm just gonna try to continue finishing. Screwing on these screws if I can. But anyways, here it is. It's all replaced. Good way to test to see if you have any bad pixels is to look in a black screen. Actually got a decent screen this time. But let me go ahead and screw the bottom screws. It's kind of hard without concentrating. Try this side instead. Got this one on. Just make sure it's tight. And get the other one. Gosh, I can't see a thing right now. That's it. Let me take off the front screen protector to show you the condition of the screen, condition of the back. Basically looks like almost a new phone except for the metal frame. I'm missing the grill up here. Kind of tacky, but it's much better than it was before. If you remember, before I looked something like this. Before, after. And the back used to look like this. Now it looks like this. And I was all able to do it. I was hoping to do around $25, but it cost me extra because I had to replace the battery, which the original seller didn't tell me the battery was really bad. But that's fine. All is working now. I just needed to get a screen protector for this phone, but it looks pretty good. So I just replaced my screen, back cover, and battery, all for the low price of, I think, $27, $28. I still need to replace the bottom speaker on this iPhone 4S. So this is the iPhone 4S that I fixed. This is just a comparison iPhone 4, and this is what it used to be. So now, in terms of screen quality, let's go into settings. I just want to go to brightness. You can see that the left side is a little brighter. You want to adjust it over the replacement panel is slightly dimmer. Hopefully you can see that. This one's an original screen on the left, and the one on the right is the replacement screen, so you can see it's not as bright. But the touchscreen, the digitizer, seems pretty much the same. So that's it.